Hey, hello, Tango here. I'm actually a casual streamer and I've been following a lot of gacha content creator lately and following their content, and I was always having a few thoughts on my mind that I like also to share with you guys. I am quite new to the whole content creator scene. I don't know if I'm going to be a real content creator, but I'd like to add a few thoughts about certain um, discussions. I wouldn't call it drama. I would call it more like opinions and discussions about statements and positionings about the whole power creep um, thingy that is going on at the moment. And I was watching the whole 1 hour what between Mr Pokkee and Saintontas, managed by Tectone. And there was also like a little short I will watch. I guess it's just a clip out of the whole what. Let me check it out.
Do you still think the 1.0 characters can still clear the current content?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It is the discussion about the 1.0 roster that is able to clear the current MOC, which is also a point I'd like to discuss. I have no a script, so it's all just on the fly. I hope this video is not also getting too long, so I'm not going to watch it complete.
Why don't we try it?
We cannot keep up. And then we didn't
Act.
Okay, so basically, what was on my mind, and correct me, and feel free also like to criticize if I'm wrong. Let's get the very first question about the power creep. Is power creep an issue? And I would definitely say yes, it is an issue. It is something that is very common in like every kind of gacha game. It is a part of most gacha games, and I would compare it more like to a volume on a hi-fi. You know, when you push up the volume, and I would say it's not a static up and upping the volume. It's more like an up and a little bit down, little bit up, and I guess that is what's making big confusion for many people, because there is not always like a better character, a better character, a better character. There are certain characters that are exceedingly great and exceedingly good in what they do. Like you, when there is like a certain type of character released, like in Genshin, an Archon. Basically, it's mostly like a must pull. In CCC, it's called now Void Hunter. If there is a Void Hunter released, it is sort of a must pull. I guess we will see with the next one, but Miyabe is exceedingly strong and is face rolling the current content like nothing else. In Honkai Star Rail, they're called Emanator. Acheron was one. She is getting, especially with her E2, insanely strong. I guess if you just pull her and get her to E2, she will probably be a very strong unit. Now with the Herter is the next Emanator, so they're kind of like a brainless pull. Yeah, you pull them because you know they have a certain status in the games and won't be power creep that fast. So about my statement, yeah, because I also like to make a proof or why I think there is a power creep. There is a page here that is making like a trend about how the HP was. Let me just see if I can also like remove the dark. There is an trend about how the HP was gradually going like up, and you see it's not always an up. Sometimes the HP also went a bit down and up, but lately we in the last few patches we have seen a gradually expansion of HP, and this is like an indicator that we have power creep. If the current like end content is getting exceedingly stronger by amping up the HP, I would call it a power creep. And another like point it is when you just compare like um, two of like the meta character, like in 1.1, 1.0, it was Seele. And if you go to Pridewind and check the calculations, I know they tell you to not use it as a indicator, but it's kind of the only thing I can actually pull. If you check Seele when it came out was doing like a 220k damage at E0, was confusing in the cruising the Stellar Sea light cone. And on fully E6, her damage output was nearly 600k. Compared to a current meta character that is also the same pass, like the Hunt. And you see she's starting at nearly 1 million. And on E6, she's getting nearly 2.7 million. And this is a calculation mostly done without help of the other characters, of like party members. The substats are sorta kinda like the same. The crit rate is a bit lower and the crit damage is a bit higher. Therefore, here the crit rate is a bit higher, but the crit damage, it is not perfect comparable. But I try to make a point, and I hope you can see my point where this is going. So yeah, is power creep a thing? Yes. Is power creep necessary? I also think yes. I mean, imagine if the game was always giving you the same difficulty level. I guess most people would get bored. If there is not like a challenge that goes higher and higher, and also the same with the characters, it is something that also like keeps you at the game. Like, oh, my character is doing even more damage and even more, and the damage numbers going up. It's something that also is enjoyable and makes people like enjoy more the game. So I think if you wouldn't had power creep, I guess a lot of game would die actually. Maybe this is a hot take, I'm not sure, but I think that games that are not evolving in characters, in enemies, in HP and everything are in a standstill, and this will make it hard for people to keep interested or invested in the game. And that's a main reason, I guess, why power creep exists and why gacha games are trying to always amp up the damage, the HP, and everything. About the discussion, I wouldn't say like Mr. Pokkee was completely in the wrong and Saintontas was completely in the right. The main issue I had with them is they tried to pick up scenarios that were just catered, and this is not how the whole game works or how like everything works. I mean, it's like you having a cake, like the full cake, and you try to talk about, yeah, but if the cherry on top you check from this side is like, this is not how the game works. I mean, yeah, if you had a 6 months break and you try to beat up the current MOC, it will probably not work. This is like if you go to the gym for like several years and then you have like a break, you won't be able to lift again the same weight. This is not possible. It's just like it is. And also the scenario picking, like you can only do it with 1.0 characters. There are people actually who try this. Like if you go on YouTube and you check out your Honkai Star Rail MOC 1.0 and then you filter it with uploads, then you see there are people who are actually using 1.0 DPS combined with current like supports that are quite broken. Yeah, I mean Sunday, Robin, we don't need to talk about them. And also like, can the 1.0 character be E6? Is it should it be E0? There are a lot of like variables that you can go, and I think that's not fair because Jing Juan went with the summon meta. Jing Juan was basically just non-existent anymore in the meta. He was just basically not used quite often anymore. And now with the summon meta and his summon got like an own whole bar, like it can be buffed and everything. He just exceeded. So that's what I was talking about. That the volume is not always going up. You have like sometimes characters that are like a bit not that strong. Then they have stronger one, and it's, I guess what's making big confusion is that you don't always go up, 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 up. It's sometimes down, a little bit up, then a little bit down, and this is also how like the MOC works. So I guess like creating special scenarios where you say you can only use that and that. This is not how the game works. If someone had like a 6 months break, yeah, he would have like the roster that he was stopped playing. And if he was a whale, he has like maybe a roster with full E6 characters that are probably still quite broken. We had like a few weeks ago a, was it a pure fiction or AC where we also used a dot again. So yeah, this is just my point I wanted to make. I think Mr. Pokkee had some points that I think were right or good, and also Saintontas. But I also think it was kind of like cut out of proportion, because like when it was there was like a point where was asked, can the game be improved, or does it need improvement regarding Honkai Star Rail? And to be blunt, yeah, I mean every game can be improved. Every game can needs improvement. There's no never a scenario where a game is perfect. Yeah, you can always improve. But the thing, I guess, what was not really understood is that for Mr. Pokkee at that moment, the game is as perfect as he would like it to have. He was content with how the game is running, and for Tectone and Saintontas, they were more like on the side to it need improvement. Yeah, I agree. The game needs improvement, but I'm also very happy, and I also like the quality of life change just with the current patch that came out today with the 300 stamina and everything. So I wouldn't call it like a bad thing or a good thing, but yeah, this is me mumbling and rambling just now about this topic. Feel free to comment below. Tell me if I'm completely wrong, if I maybe thought of or forgot to thought about a certain scenario or something like that. But I think everyone has a fair point in this statement, and um, that's basically it. So see you at Twitch or at YouTube. So bye bye.